Hey guys! Today I wanted to make a tutorial on how to wire your paintings. So what are we gonna need? I have a painting right here. It's finished painting. I framed it as well. I'll show it closer. Yeah, it has a frame. It's a wood panel and it's pouring medium on a wood panel. What else do I have here? I have here, what are you gonna need? For this size of painting, we're gonna need hooks like this. This is what we're gonna need. We're gonna need 2 of those. We're gonna need screws to screw them into our back of our painting, of our wood panel. You're gonna need scissors, very important. You're gonna need wire. I have quite a bit of wire here. I have like a little box where I collect my wires. I have more wire, but this is just what I have right now. So wire and drill bits and measuring tape. Oh, and a pencil. We're gonna need a pencil. First, let me turn my painting around to the back side of it. Okay, so where do we want to put our wire? For wire, this is a very large painting. This is 48 by 24. First, we're gonna screw our hooks and we're gonna screw them just above the half of painting. So about 1/3 from the top-ish, something like that, or just above half, because this is half. This is halfway through the painting. We're gonna wire it just above half, and then we're gonna put the wire itself. And the wire itself, we want to make it a bit loose. We don't want to make it very tight because we want to have some flexibility here. I noticed that the looser your wire is, the easier is it to align your painting properly. If your wire is too tight, it's really hard to hang it. It can be difficult and it can be sticking out of the wall, and we don't want that. First of all, we're gonna measure and we're gonna decide where our hooks are gonna be screwed. So let's measure. This is 48. I'm gonna put it at about, let's put them at 18 from the top. So I'm gonna measure 18 on this side. And I'm gonna measure 18 on this side. Now let's screw them in. So we're gonna take our hook. We're gonna put our hook. It has not flat side and it has a flat side. So we're gonna put it flat side to the canvas, pointing up a little bit. So in this position, like that. We're gonna put one, let's start maybe with the side. We're gonna put one right here. And we're gonna screw it in. I need my screws. My drill. Okay, that's pretty good. Now let's put second screw in because I need 2 screws for this. Done. Beautiful. That's one side. Now let's do second side. The same thing, exact same. We're going to mirror this on this side. Actually, I wouldn't suggest that you guys do it vertical because if you had canvas painting, whatever you lean it on would damage your canvas. But because this is a solid wood, this is very hard. And the material that I used for the actual painting is really hard to scratch as well. I'm not worried about it right now. But if you're doing canvas, it's better to do it flat on the floor. That's the best way to go. Now we have 2 of our hooks screwed here. One here, one here. They're on the same height. Okay, let me move this a little bit. They are on the same height from the top, both of them. Do you see how they're pointing this way a little bit? Yeah, do you see how it's pointing on the top? Now that I have the hooks, I'm gonna put a wire. But again, first I'm going to measure how far from the top I would like my wire to go to. So I would say I would probably want it to go until here. So maybe about halfway through from the place where you put hooks to the top. About halfway through. Okay, let's maybe put it to, let's put it to 7. I like 7. Okay, where's my pencil? Pencil. 7. Actually, let's put it to 8. Just seems easier. Okay, 8. Write myself 8 here, and this was what? This was 18. Awesome. Why am I writing all this? Because this is not the only painting that I have in this size. I have about 7 paintings that are exact same size, the exact same frame, the exact same materials, exact same technique, and they're going to be all displayed together. So I want them all to be wired exactly the same. So when I hang them, it makes my life much, much easier. That's why I'm remembering and I'm writing down how much from the top, how much from the sides. So when I wire next paintings, I will know, and they'll be wired exactly the same. I'm going to take my wire, I'm going to use this wire. So with wire, guys, it's very important that you choose the right wire for your wiring job. For a large, heavy painting, you should always go with wire that can handle it. Don't ever go with tiny, tiny wire because it can rip, and that would be a disaster. So this is nice wire for the size of painting. The same with hooks, actually. Use different, there are many size hooks, so you can use different size hooks for different size paintings. This is big and heavy painting, so I used fairly large hooks. The same with wire, I'm using fairly strong wire that can handle the weight of this. Okay, now we shall wire this. We're gonna put this wire through the hook, like this. Do you see how I'm leaving a bit of a piece here to wrap it? Now, what is great about this hook, the wire can move, which is nice because depending on where you hang it, you might be able to adjust this. Now, what are we gonna do? First, I'm gonna tie it. Looks pretty good, I think. You can tie it twice or you can put it a few times in here. It's totally up to you. In this case, this wire is very strong, so one time is more than enough. And now we're just gonna wrap this piece around here. Ta-da! Looks wonderful. Now that we have this wrapped here, we're gonna bring this wire to the mark that I put right here because we want to know how far it's supposed to go, how loose are we gonna make this wire. And now we're gonna bring second piece to this hook and we're gonna put it in, put it through. I'm gonna make a little mark so I know how big I need it. Now the rest of the wire I'm not gonna need. Do you see it goes perfectly until I want it to go, until this mark where I want it to be. We're gonna take our scissors and we're gonna cut off the wire that we're not gonna use. And now we're gonna do on this side exactly the same thing that we did here. Let's measure it again. Looks perfect. It's exactly where it needs to be, which is amazing. Now we're gonna tie this side. And we're gonna wrap it. Same way that we did on the other side. Okay, and now we are done. We have a beautifully wired painting. And now I'm gonna wire 6 more of those, or maybe even 7. I haven't counted how many I have exactly, but but I have a lot of those. Yeah, so that's how you wire a large painting. Now, you might also need to wire smaller paintings, which is done totally different. For smaller paintings, you don't have to use the hooks. You can use different things. You can use those. Hooks are of course preferable, but they're way more expensive and they're not very necessary for a very light, tiny painting. So you can use one of those little things. I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, one of those little things that you can screw in a side of your painting. Okay, let me show you on a smaller piece. So those are really easy to screw because they're much smaller piece. This one is a canvas. It's 40 million on a canvas and it's framed or something like that, which is nice. So we're gonna try to wire this one now. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do it. To just give it a little push at first. Same thing. We're gonna decide where our side screws are gonna go and how far we're gonna put our wire for a little bit. So we're gonna grab our measuring tape. This piece is just goes into any wood for maybe like a millimeter or half on that. Half of 16 is 8. And then we're gonna screw it. Oh no, sorry. Half of 20 is 10. It can be a bit of a pain in the ass, those little things. So I'm gonna, because sometimes if your wood is very hard, it might be a bit difficult to screw them in. 7 is about 1/3-ish. Let's put it at 7. And this one. So I'm measuring both sides. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys. And I'm putting marks. How I do it. 7 here, 7 there. Perfect. So I measured up 7 inches from the top, and here is my mark. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna screw those little things to the sides. So let's say here, where's my mark? 7 is right here. I'm gonna show you guys on the side. So 7 is right here. So I'm gonna put screw right on a side there. I'm gonna screw it in, and I'm gonna do exact same thing on the other side. My wood is very hard, so I'm gonna hammer it just a little bit further, so it's easier for me. Now keep in mind, be very careful with your painting. You don't want to damage your painting when you hammer it. Oh yeah, this is much, much better. Now that I hammered it for a little bit. So now I'm going to do exact same thing on the other side. Now both of them are in place. We're gonna do the same thing because I have a few more pieces that are the same size and framed the same. So I want them to have the exact same wiring. So I'm gonna measure from the top how far I want my wire to go. This was 7. Okay, how far do we want to go with this? Let's say we're gonna go till 3. Let's go till 3. So I'm gonna make a mark at 3. And I'm gonna find a wire for it. So maybe go with this wire. This is a smaller wire, so it should be very good for this size painting. You're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna start with one side. We're gonna put the wire in. Gonna do this. We're gonna decide how far it's gonna go. So here. So this should be enough. I can probably cut it right here. Okay, let's cut it. Ta-da! Okay, now let's do the same thing that we've done with big painting, but with this one. First we're gonna tie it into a knot. And then we're going to wrap our wire around. Okay, that's good. Now bring it to the dot where I want it to stop. And to the other side. Let's put it in. Wonderful. So now it's perfect. It's just the way I want it. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tie it on this end. I did tie it. Now let's see if it's still good. It is still good. Which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. Now we're going to wrap it around like we did on the other side. Ta-da! And here is your second wired painting. Now you guys know how to wire your pieces. Big pieces and small pieces. Let me know if you have any questions or if you have any comments. I would love to hear from you. And for my next video, I will try to show you how to frame a painting.